Today we're going to talk about how to set up a photo studio in pretty much any room. You need a few key components. I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you, but first we got to get to our destination. So there's three components that you really need to even make this possible. First things first, obviously, you need a good camera. Second thing is lighting equipment. You need some pretty good or pretty decent lighting equipment. Today, I'm going to use some lights as well as my flash that goes on my camera. The third thing you are going to need is backdrop paper. Some people like to use cloth. I personally like to use backdrop paper. It just looks cleaner. It's easy. You put it up, you take it down, you're good to go.
Watch how it's done.
So a major key that I forgot to mention that you really need to finish this whole thing off is post-production. Now, people at the beginner level might wonder, what do you mean by post-production? Editing. I use two softwares. I use Lightroom to get like just the regular edits, the tones, the curves, all that stuff. And then I fine tune on Photoshop so that it can look finito. Without those programs, this is not possible. Not even without those programs, but without some type of editing software, it's really hard for you to set up a studio in any room and still get a decent lighting. Because with the editing software, you can control certain elements if there's a part of your backdrop that isn't light enough because of, the spacing in the room that you're in or just how the shot looked. Editing and putting extra time into editing because it takes lots of hours. People think that, it's a little filter, bam. I mean, some people use presets. I don't use presets. I alter every picture I take based on the environment. So this is like the major part, So you do need your lighting, you do need your camera equipment, you do need your backdrop paper, but without the final post-production editing, I'm sorry, you just can't do this one like that. But thankfully, I have that. So I have no problems. I really do hope that this video was helpful for anyone out there that maybe doesn't have a studio space. You can always go on Amazon and buy the paper. You don't always need to tape it. Like if you have a room where you can't tape it, you can always go on Amazon again and buy the poles to hold up the paper with the bar. I think it's around like 30 to 60 bucks. So if you don't have a wall to tape the paper, you can always buy the poles. And pretty much this is just to show you that you don't need some fancy space to create good work. You can create good work within any environment if you're creative, if you use what you have. A friend of mine's, Big Head Johnny, you know who you are. He told me a handful of years ago that you got to use what you have to your advantage. So I got paper and I got camera equipment. So I'm just showing y'all that I could just set it up anywhere. I could set it up in your house. I could set it up in a room. I could set it up on the street. You just got to get the right stuff and make it happen. And like I said, the key to everything is the post production, how you finish it off, how you put the icing on the cake. I really do hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, week. Stay blessed, y'all. Love always.